Hi guys, so I wasn't thinking about doing a review of this little pressure cooker or rice cooker or whatever you want to call it from QVC, I think, Cook's Essentials. It might have come from HSN, I'll find that out. But it's electric 2-quart pressure cooker. I hadn't seen any reviews on it. It's super cute. They always have it on clearance for like 20 bucks or a little bit more, but it's supposedly a pressure cooker, which is great. I mean, right now I have my crock pot going with some pot roast in it, and as you can see, they match. And they have this in like several colors. But what's interesting is if you're reading how to make your rice, it is really confusing as far as it says use your 1 cup to put water in the pot for 1 cup, and then you can only do 2 cups of rice to a 1-to-1 ratio. But you know, normally in a rice cooker, you use your little cup, you put your rice in there, and then you fill up the water to the certain line that says if it was 1 cup, 2 cups, 3 cups, you know, depending on how much you want to make, or dry, right, to begin with. So it was weird. So I'm thinking, you know what, I should do a review of this. So I mean, I didn't think about it till afterwards, so I just want to show you that already in here. Oh, well, there goes that. But it's kind of hard to take this lid off. Hold on one second. I'm going to put this down so I can try and take the lid off so I can show you what I have in here. It gets like a little stuck. It's weird. Okay. So, I'm sorry, I have a movie going on in the background, so maybe you can hear that. Hopefully not too loud. So what I did, because basically this is what it sounds like, you're going to measure 2 cups of the water if you're using 2 cups. So let's say you're doing 1. So you just measure out 1 cup of water, pour it in, and then get 1 cup of rice. And they say to wash your rice, and that's basically so it'll be less sticky, but I didn't wash it because I forgot. So 1 cup of rice, whatever rice you're using, and pour it in there. This is just regular long grain rice, you know. Nothing special. But I did do 2 cups of water from this measuring cup, and I put in 2 cups of the dry rice. Because on the inside it says 1/3, and then it says 2/3 and max, and that's it. There's no, you know, if you're using 1 cup of rice, you do your dry rice in here, and then you add water to the 1 cup measure, where it says 1. This is what you normally do. So I am doing what this thing says, supposedly. I did plug it in. It tells you to go ahead and put your lid on. So just, you know, the lid kind of wants to stick. I don't know why. But let me, oh man, all I'm going to do is turn it to the right so it closes. So I just placed it here. There's like a little notch in the back. See, this is lock unlock. There's like a little area here, and I'm going to turn it. It's hard to do with one hand. Actually, I just figured out a way to do it with one hand. I'm going to keep my hand here, and it turns. See that? It locks in place. So you're supposed to do all that, and then you plug it in. When you plug it in, this comes up. So you can see it still has the sticker. I haven't even used this thing. So you're going to press menu, which is right here, until it gets to what you want. So there's pressure, and then you can choose how much time if you are doing pressure. It goes to pressure low. It goes to keep warm. It goes to slow cook low, which is interesting. I did want to know about the slow cook. I wasn't sure if it does low or high or which one, so it does a low slow cook, okay? And then it does browning, which is awesome. I like to brown a lot of times. Like if I was to make my pot roast in here, I would brown everything and then add in my liquids and then go ahead and set it to low cook for 8 hours, or, you know, maybe high pressure for an hour or so, maybe a little bit less. So right now it's on chili stew. I don't want that. And then now it's flashing eggs. Okay, so over eggs. And eggs, what I thought was impressive about this thing is that it's going to cook your eggs in 6 minutes if you want it hard boiled, or less. You can adjust the time. I see how it says 6. You can do less time. You can adjust. And I'm going to pick rice, and rice is 8 minutes. I didn't realize that when I bought this thing, that it's supposed to be fast. So I guess it's the pressure part of it. So I already have the knob. It's not like sticking. It's just basically, see how before it came off, like I can turn it all the way around, so it's kind of weird, but you just want this little tab part of it to face the word pressure, okay? Not steam. So face the word pressure, and it's here, and we are going to start. So I'm going to press start, and it's going to warm up, and it's going to do its thing. So I'll let you know exactly how long it takes, because it's 5:09 right now, and I'll see the time when the beeper goes off, because it's going to take time to come up to heat, I'm assuming, and then do the 8 minutes. I don't know how it does it, but let's see what happens. So I just want to check in with you guys. I hear a little sizzling. I started hearing the sizzling around 4 minutes in. It is now 8 minutes in, and the counter hasn't started counting down yet. So it has to come up to pressure, come to heat. So if you're adding 8 minutes, let's say it starts at 10 minutes. I don't know when it's going to start counting down. And you have 8 minutes. That's still almost 20 minutes. And then, you know, a normal rice cooker cooks your rice in like 25 to 30 minutes. So it's a little bit faster. We'll see, all right? Because I don't know when this is going to start counting down. Right now we're at 9 minutes now, and it hasn't started counting down yet. But I do see some steam. I don't know if you can see that coming up out of this little vent. Let me see. I did bring out the old, oh, you can kind of see that. I see it. But anyway, so it's starting to steam. So once that steam stops happening, it's because the pressure cooked in, or locked in. So I have a feeling that's when the timer will start counting down, but we'll keep an eye. Okay, so like I had expected, it took about 10 minutes to come to pressure and it's already counted down a couple minutes. So just want to let you know about that. Okay, so it just stopped. You hear that beep? So it beeps a little bit. It's not super loud. I was in my living room, which isn't super far from here, you know, and I didn't hear it, but I just thought about it might be like 5 minutes, so I came to check. And now it's just on keep warm. I don't know what this countdown is because it doesn't change from 7:59. It's just been saying 7:59. But okay, so right now what I'm supposed to do is just leave it alone, let it adjust pressure or natural release of pressure, like just because after time it's not hot anymore, it's gonna keep cooling down and then it's fine. Or we can move this in short bursts. Now I am going to press stop because I don't want to hear that beeping anymore. And I can hear it sizzling. I don't know if you can hear that. Okay, so what I'm going to do, and usually I showed you guys in other pressure cooker videos, like with the one pot, or crock pot, whatever they call it, multi-pot, I just let it go, and I put a towel over it. I first put a towel over it, and then I kind of, that was scary. That was very sensitive. I barely touched it. I didn't mean to actually show it, so I always like to put a towel over it. Don't put your hands near the towel because the steam is still really hot. But I just don't like the way it shoots up. I mean, that shot up basically to my ceiling, and hopefully, I mean, obviously it's just steam, but I don't like that. So anyway, so now it's a little bit less, so I'm going to take this off. You can see it's not as bad. But when I first did it, it was ridiculous. Very sensitive. Oh my gosh. So, and now it closed up again because, there you go. So what I'm going to do is wait till it stops completely, stop hissing at me. And now I saw this little valve here. And this little point that was that little silver bottom, you can see kind of, it looks like multi-rings, but the very base, there's a little pin in there. It just fell back down. So I know that means it's loosened up. And their warning is, obviously you don't want to put your hands near there, but what I would say is when you open it, it says if the rice is still watery, to fluff it with a fork and then just put the lid back on and let it sit for another however long, which is weird. Because for me, it should be just cooked, and hopefully it's not watery. If it is, I'm going to be like, ugh. So I don't really feel like waiting for this. So it's 5:31 right now. I talked for about a minute, you know, it went to the thing. So we start at 5:09, so that's 21 minutes. Now just slide it to clockwise, I guess. And I lift up the lid very carefully, and it looks perfectly cooked. We will see. I was not going to use their rice paddle, but I guess I will since it's near me. Look at that. They do say to add a tablespoon of butter to reduce, it says white foam, you know how it kind of foams up, but I didn't do that, and it's not even close. And I don't see how this is the maximum load, because it looks to me like you could get quite a bit more, but that's okay. Maybe next time I'm going to do 3 cups just to see what happens. It'll probably like explode on me. But not bad. I just want to see how shallow it is. Like, I'm just barely touching it. It's already at the bottom, so that's kind of... You know, and does this look like 4 cups of rice? Since we did the 2 cups. And just so you know, these cups aren't a full cup, right? These rice cups are usually like 3/4, maybe, a little more of an actual measuring cup. But it looks really good. It's fluffy. It's just the right amount of chewy. Pretty good. And I guess if you want to leave it there and let it get browner and browner on the bottom, you know, you can leave it and keep warm. So that the bottom kind of gets you that little crispiness that people like. But for now, this is great. So I did cut out about 10 minutes of my normal rice cooking. I don't like that. Not that I don't like. It's a small thing. So if you're a single person or just you and, you know, one other person, a couple people, this is great. Right now my son's on a supposedly kind of keto type diet, so I'm just gonna put the lid back on this until we're ready for dinner. So he's gonna have pot roast, but probably not the rice. That's why I just made a little bit. I am curious to see how this makes sushi rice really well. I used to have a Wolfgang Puck cute little countertop thing. It was like red and it had like a little handle. It looked like a little lunch pail kind of almost. And that one made great sushi rice, and I kept dropping it and dropping it. It was because I had it up in a high thing, and the inside part would fall. So finally, it just like stopped working, and then they stopped making it. Although there are some on Amazon that look similar, they're really small. So I would still want something that cooked as well, but it was a little bit bigger. So hopefully, this little guy can make some good sushi rice, the short grain rice, because I'm into that. So let's see if it'll make it. But for now, I'm gonna leave it here on my counter because it's so small and cute and red, and I love puffs of red in my kitchen. So it's gonna be here until, you know, we'll see what happens. But pretty good. If there's any other questions you guys have, or you want to see some of the other functions, let me know. But the instructions are odd, like I said about the rice, so I specifically wanted to try that out for you guys. So you're basically pressure cooking rice. So you have to do the pressure cooking instructions plus the rice, you know, setting, and then follow along how much you put. So I measured the water in this and I measured the rice in this, and that worked out. So 1-to-1 ratio, if you're using 1 cup of water, 1 cup of rice, 2 cups of water, 2 cups of rice. Like I said, I might try 3. Let's see what happens next time if I do that, or maybe 2.5 or something, right? Just measure this out to half. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye now.